right. Good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Hello, hi, welcome. My name is Spooky for you, and I am currently dressed as my Yule peppermint cow outfit for anyone who is not aware. I like to change my look seasonally or depending on my mood, and since it is Yule time, we are currently a peppermint cow. Also, I keep having difficulties every single time I am trying to record this video from audio not working, and for some reason my gamer arm toggle is permanently fixed and I could not figure out how to get that to cooperate and put my arms down, so for the time being, it looks like I'm gaming. So today we are going to be reading some Am I the A-hole posts. I really loved doing this last time and it looks like a lot of you guys enjoyed it too. So I'm going to be reading about 3 or 4 stories that I came across. Funny enough, I actually found a Instagram called Reddit with Charlie Brown. First story is, am I the a-hole for wanting my fiance to either buy me out or leave? My fiance and I are unhappy. He said he wants us to break up, which I also think is for the best. We run a small home-based business together. I also have a job. We have a joint tenancy on a rented house and each have a child from previous marriages, 9 and 11. He said he wants to take over business and for me to move out, which I'm happy to do. When we moved here, I spent all my savings and took out loans to get the business started. For 7 months, he had no income. We got the business started, and in that time, I financially provided for our whole family. The business is still young and isn't profitable yet. It does pay the rent, but I still pay all other utilities, family, household expenses. He doesn't take a wage because there simply isn't any profit to it yet. I now have a debt around $16,000, which compared to my salary is a lot, almost a full year's wage. Oh, goodness. Because I fronted up all the cash and did all the legal work and admin, everything for the business is in my name. I legally own the business in its entirety. As someone who is starting her own business and everything like that, because I make candles and nerdy themed wax melts, everything along those lines, I personally understand how tedious and time consuming and frustrating all of the paperwork to get everything legitimate and everything like that, and also expensive. It's a lot, so I can sympathize with that one. I've said if he pays me the $16,000, I'll sign it all over to him and walk away, but I'm not leaving with debt. He says I'm asking for too much and because he's invested his time. My argument is that I've also invested time and about $40,000 all in. So am I the a-hole for sticking to my guns and saying he can either repay the $16,000 or go? Yeah, no, see, you invested a lot of money. You put a lot of money up front. You are the main reason the business was able to be legitimized and be legal, and it's a lot. So no, I honestly, I would recommend to have him buy everything out, and you definitely don't want to leave the relationship with debt and having like a hole that you can't get out of, especially like with kids and everything like that. Even without the kids though, honestly, I would say no, you deserve like to have your portion bought out. You deserve to get reimbursed for everything that you had put in, especially if he's the one that was originally instigating the breakup. And in my opinion, not the a-hole on this one, but let me see what this says. All right, so comments look like they are mostly voting for not the a-hole. This one right here says stick to your guns. The other one right here says he could either leave, pay you at least half of the $40,000 you invested plus $16,000 debt, or you can sell the whole business to someone else for probably more money and tell him to take his business with the owner. He's a leech, don't give him anything. Oh, this one's like, yeah, she invested her time too. Like I could maybe understand if he did all the work and she didn't. But even in that case, when you take the business loan from a bank, you're expected to pay it back. The bank doesn't accept time as a return. Invested his time when her entire savings account is gone. Yeah, no. So it looks like a lot of people are voting not the a-hole, and I agree. All right, story 2. Am I the a-hole for asking my friend to move a picture of him and his wife because it made my wife uncomfortable? Me, male, 32. And my wife, Dahlia, female, 28, lost our apartment 2 months ago and moved in with mom temporarily. Issues began to arise between Dahlia and mom, and I had to ask my friend, Anthony, 31, male, to let us move in till we get enough money to rent out. His wife was away visiting family, and he agreed, but even there, some issues started to arise. I bet if he didn't even consult his wife. FYI, Dahlia is very shy around Anthony. She grew up in a conservative home and it's understandable, but sometimes it can be a bit much. I admit that. For example, she freaked out when she accidentally drank from his glass. She also once made a fuss when he passed by the guest room when she was laying down and the door was open. Thankfully, Anthony was super understanding and we were able to talk some of these issues out. Last night, Dahlia was passing the hall, noticed a framed picture of Anthony and his wife kissing hanging on the wall, and told me about it and said it made her uncomfortable. She asked if we could speak to Anthony about it, but he didn't take it well. He gave me a look when I spoke to him and said this was bonkers. Bonkers. Because first of all, his wife put it there. Second of all, the picture holds sentimental meaning to him and his wife, and argued that it wasn't some explicit picture of them, just a normal wedding kiss. We started arguing. He said that it wasn't like it was hanging in the living room wall or a perfectly lit room. I asked him to be a little more considerate because it's not like I asked him to remove it completely, just move it elsewhere where Dahlia wouldn't reach or keep it off the wall till we leave. All right, so sorry, I have thoughts about this. He said he was sorry, but still refused. I explained how Dahlia was feeling. He said that again, he was sorry, but would not move the picture. We argued some more, and he said that it was his house, and I was getting pushy and kind of too comfortable to make such a demand and be pushy still. Yeah. This morning, Dahlia refused to even come out of the room until the picture moved. Anthony is refusing, which makes it worse. Now I feel like I'm getting stuck between a rock and a hard place. Yes, she might just be overreacting, but I feel this isn't such a big ask for Anthony to decline and turn down. If it were me, I'd go the extra mile to make sure my guests are comfortable. Anthony has been a friend of mine for 10 years. I wouldn't have asked to move in with him if I didn't have such a strong bond with him. He himself constantly talks about all the things and situations I helped him out with, and we are considered brothers. So am I the a-hole? Honestly, in this one, yeah. I mean, there's a lot to unpack there. Your wife was starting to cause issues with your mom. I mean, like, of course, I know like a lot of mother-in-laws and stuff that can be a whole issue entirely. Not even knowing the issues that they were causing, I'm not even going to touch that one. But moving into your friend's house and then making demands about them moving sentimental pictures and stuff like that, when it's not your house to decorate, they're letting you stay there out of the kindness of their heart and because you guys have such a good bond. It's just a wedding kiss photo. I mean, like, I understand being raised in a conservative household, but to make such a big argument over someone else not moving a picture that they love up and hold sentimental value and like from their special day and stuff like that, that's ridiculous. And I know they probably aren't really most likely asking you to pay, or if they are, it's definitely not going to be like a substantial amount to pay for staying with them, or, you know, probably not even making much contribution to staying with them. So for you guys to be demanding that a picture like that be moved and then making such a big fuss about it, no, I agree with your friend. That's like entitled and just the whole entitlement is what like gets me here. It's just no. No. If you don't like it, you guys can hurry on and save enough money to rent out a place or go stay at a hotel. There's a lot less like intimate or unsavory type of photos at a hotel, depending on the hotel you go to. But yeah, no. In my opinion on this one, yeah, you are definitely the a-hole. But I want to see the comments. This one right here says, OP's wife needs to go to therapy, full stop. I'm in therapy, so this isn't an insult. I mean, like, anyone going to therapy is not an insult. Going to therapy shows that you recognize that things may be getting, you know, a little too overwhelming to handle individually. So no, I fully agree. Like, going to therapy is not a bad thing. It's self-improvement, it's self-growth, and it even shows a whole lot of self-awareness that you are needing someone to speak to about things. So don't ever feel embarrassed or shy or anything like that about going to therapy. But I do agree, OP's wife on this one may benefit from speaking to someone about this. So that might be a way to look into something. A lot of the comments here are showing that the wife needs therapy ASAP. If I were Anthony, I'd put their suitcases outside. They have no right to make demands in his home. I fully agree. And this one, are we all ignoring that it's apparently a wedding photo? Yeah, no. This one says, you're the a-hole. WTF, like what the frick did I just read? Do you guys keep socks on during intimate times? I mean, some of these comments really do get so wonky. It's funny. Yeah, no, it looks like the consensus on this one is you are the a-hole and your wife needs to find some form of professional help to see if they can go ahead and get assistance with their discomfort in matters like this. All right, next story. Am I the a-hole because I baked my own birthday cake after my wife bought one? For my 32 male birthday, I always like one specific kind of cake, a chocolate covered cherry cake. That kind of sounds like a Black Forest cake. It also kind of sounds like a cake Pixie would love. My daughter too. My daughter loves cherries, so I think she would love that. Anyways, my mom or dad always made it for me since it wasn't one of the available flavors at any bakeries or stores near where I grew up. Also, it kind of has like sentimental value too. When I moved away, I started to make it myself. I've been married to my wife for just under a year, but we've been together for 6 years, so she knows all about the cake. During the time, we've either baked it together, my parents made it, or I made it on my own, and I've never asked or expected her to do it. Okay, that's sweet. Before my birthday this year, my wife asked me what kind of cake I wanted. The same kind as always, but she told me she didn't feel like baking. I told her she didn't need to worry about baking it because I can just do it myself. She asked me a second time and I gave her the same answer. And the day before my birthday, I get home from work and I have all the ingredients to make my cake. Go to get something out of the fridge and there's a pair of cheesecakes in there with happy birthday written on them. Oh, happy birthday written between them both. So I guess it's 2 cheesecake. One says happy, one says birthday. I asked my wife about it and she said that those were the cakes for my party the next day and she thought switching things up this year would be nice since everyone loves cheesecake. Not everyone loves cheesecake. I personally love cheesecake. It is one of my favorite foods. Cheesecake and the chantilly cake, like with the berries and the cream and everything. It's like, those are my go-to cakes. But not everyone loves cheesecake. I don't hate it, but she gets cheesecake at least once a month. I've only ever had the cherry cake on my birthday, and I told her I appreciate it and they look good, but I really want the cake I like, so I was going to make mine and we'll just let everyone have a choice of what cake they want. That's actually a pretty nice compromise. I mean, at least then all of the cakes are getting used. All of them are being presented. All of them are used, not like one is chosen really much above the other, and the guests get a choice of what they would like to eat. So that's nice. She got peed off and yelled that I ruined her attempt to make things easier on us by not having to bake and bringing a cake that everyone would love. It's been 2 days since the party and she was cold at the party and still acting cold. Usually I move mountains in heaven to give her the things she wants on her birthdays and celebrate how she wants. I just wanted one specific cake for mine. Am I the a-hole? And then under that, it actually gives the recipe for the cake, which actually looks pretty simple, considering that the wife or the girlfriend was saying that it was a hassle pretty much to make the cake. But then looking at the ingredients and everything of just being a box of chocolate cake mix, a jar of maraschino cherries, a can of cherry pie filling, a teaspoon of almond extract, a container of Cool Whip, chocolate sauce, and rum to taste. That is a pretty simple. So, I mean, regardless, even if it was a complicated cake, the parents can make it for him, which he said that happens sometimes. He doesn't mind making his own cake. It sounds like she may not personally like the cake and is just tired of having it, I guess. But again, it's not her day. It is not her day. It's not something that she would really get to say, what kind of cake it is, especially if he is having this kind of cake, it's a special cake. It's a sentimental cake. It's one specific cake that he has once a year on his birthday. And he's even not minding to make it himself. Yeah, no, in this instance, I vote not the a-hole. That's kind of it just sounds like the girlfriend or the wife just may not be liking the cake. And even then, there was a compromise. So everyone got a chance to choose what they wanted as a cake. So let me see here. Let's see what the comments say. Not the a-hole. It's a bit weird to be so specific. I'm being tongue-tied this morning. But everyone has that one thing that's a bit off, but must be a certain way. I just feel like a little disrespectful from her, but also maybe she really wanted to do something for you. I don't know. I see both sides, but it would low key make me mad too. Maybe tell her how this made you feel and pray she takes it well. Not the a-hole. The cherry chocolate cake sounds delicious. I mean, it does. I don't really personally like cherries, but even this, it looks like it might be good. It does look like a form of Black Forest cake. So, not the a-hole. He wanted a specific cake. He always is ready to make it himself. He said that they could do both cakes. I fail to see her problem. Yeah, no, I don't understand why she's throwing such a fit about it too. That sounds like a Black Forest cake. OP is not the a-hole, but seriously need to consider their spousal choices because they married a nope. Plot twist. She hates cherry cake. She tolerates it because she loves you and wants you to smile on your birthday, but you baking the cake she brought the cheesecake steals her fate for the rest of her life to force down a slice of cocoa maraschino cherry. So yeah, no, that one, it kind of has the same thought process as I did, that she may not like cherry or chocolate cherry cake, but again, not her birthday. You guys have cheesecake like once a month, apparently. She was even able to still have the cheesecakes at the party, so she didn't even have to eat the cake. Yeah, no. Okay. So in my opinion, and looks like mostly the consensus here is not the a-hole. Now I'm curious, do you guys have like a specific cake or anything like that you guys like to have on your birthdays, or even like a specific treat? It doesn't have to be cake. All my life, like I was never really allowed to celebrate my birthday. Mother, narcissistic and everything like that. So we had to celebrate her on my birthday. So it wasn't until recently, like the last couple of years or so, that I even started getting cake or like started celebrating my own birthday. And it's been so silly. Like every year, I just honestly keep forgetting my birthday, but my favorite cake is honestly the Chantilly cakes, where it's like a white cake or like an angel food cake with a mix of like, it's kind of like a ricotta cream cheese, not cream cheese, a ricotta whipped cream frosting or buttercream on that end, and then like it's filled with like fresh fruits and it's so yummy. That is my favorite cake. Like I would always get that like over any other cake. If you've never had it, it is so delicious. I so highly recommend that you try it. But yeah, no, that's definitely my go-to. That and cheesecake. I do love cheesecake, but again, cheesecake is like kind of a whenever I'm feeling down type of treat, or like a little mini celebration for any other kind of occurrence. Yeah, no. now I'm wanting cake. We have enough time for one more story. I keep feeling like I'm about to have another sneezing fit. Am I the a-hole for not giving my sister 50% of my small business? I did not even realize I chose like 2 business things. I started a small business in July of 2020. About 8 months in, I hired my older sister to do some administrative work for me. So it seems like it was getting profitable, like pretty quickly too, 8 months in. Nice. She had recently had a baby, was not planning on returning to work, but still needed a little money. She asked if there was anything she could do to help business, and I said yeah. Her responsibilities included answering some emails, organizing his existing spreadsheet, reaching out to other businesses, which was her background, but none of the reaching out led anywhere. She clocked about 5 to 8 hours of work per week, and I paid her about $25 an hour. That's actually not bad. 25 an hour is pretty good. I still created the product for the client, answered follow-up emails from the client, handled the financials, and ran social media and the website. About a year in, we decided to do a rebrand. We hired someone to make a new logo. I built a new website. And about 5 months before the launch of the rebrand, she asked if we could get something in writing, an employment contract. I mean, okay, yeah, employment contract. And also expressed an interest in owning part of the business. I told her we could definitely get something in writing and I would think about the part ownership. 3 months later, I suggested a 70-30 split, to which she disagreed. She was looking for a 50-50 split. I said I own the business and told her we definitely get something in writing. She said she was looking for a 50-50. I said I was definitely not comfortable with a 50-50, and the highest I would ever possibly be 51-49. She responded with, "What's the point of being part owner when your decision would still be the final say?" Again, I told her I would think about it. And 2 weeks before the launch of the rebrand, I was talking to my husband and made the comment about having to give her 50% to keep the peace. He advised me to write down my financial contribution to the company versus hers. That's actually a good idea. Obviously, the financial, let alone time commitment, was staggering. I presented her with a spreadsheet of tiers to buy into the company, 10% for free, and then tiered payments all the way up to 49%. She was very angry, saying that I blindsided her, betrayed her, and even went as far to say she built my business. I've apologized for not bringing it up until the week before the launch, but she refuses to speak to me. She refuses to come to the family Thanksgiving or Christmas, and it's tearing my family apart. The entitlement in this, honestly, I'm saying OP is not the a-hole. Her sister is definitely the a-hole and a little bit delulu, honestly. Not putting any financial contributions into the company and working 5 to 8 hours a week. Like, yes, the help and everything like that is always greatly appreciated, but for OP to be the one to build the business up, they'll do like 80 to 90% of everything and make all the products and everything too. The sister has no right towards her ownership or anything like that. Honestly, like 10% would even be generous, especially like for free. Definitely not 50-50. Definitely not even 51-49 in my opinion, because that's just setting your business up to fail. It seems because she's definitely not looking at what she would be contributing to the business. She's more looking at like how much she can get from your business. And that's like more of a personal and greedy motive on that end. So it just seems like, especially with the comment of her saying, what's the point of being part ownership when your say is still like your choice is still the final say. That right there shows me that she may not agree with some of the things that you're wanting to do with the business and wants to make changes of her own. And you guys are definitely going to be arguing and bickering, and this is going to cause an even bigger rift in your family. And not only that, but also make your business fail. I not the a-hole, and also please hope that she did not give her like a substantial amount of ownership in the company. It's the entitlement for me too. Like, but let me take a look at what the comment says. I wouldn't have even considered partial ownership. She's a very part-time employee, period. Ask her to put in writing why she deserves the company and what her contributions are. If only it's because the owner is my sister. There you have it. Not only don't let her be a part owner, but fire her immediately. If she acts like this as an employee, think of how it'd be as a partner with her. See, exactly. Imagine getting 10% of someone else's business for free, right? Yep, exactly. I was saying that a minute ago, and still act that way. Not the a-hole, and I would go full non-contact with the sister. This is a complete character issue. OP came up with the business, started it, got it in place where they could afford to pay the sister. Sister did some very part-time work. Like part-time is normally 15 hours per week. Like that's true. And she was only working 5 to 8. Just managed basic office admin work and didn't lead to any real growth either. Oh, that's a good point, because whenever she was reaching out to any of the other businesses or like other clients and stuff, her leads went nowhere. So that's a good point. Didn't invest any money. In fact, took an above average, sadly given the economy, hourly pay, and wants to be handed a piece of the company, let alone 50%, and then claims she built it. It was built when you arrived and you weren't even a contributor, like a contribution as a full-time secretary. Not the a-hole. The sister is tearing the family apart. That's on her. That one's definitely a sticky situation, but no, I don't think giving her any form of ownership in the company, let alone 10%, definitely not 50%, would ever be beneficial. So that is all I have for today. I will go ahead and do some more Am I the A-hole stories later. I'm gonna see if I can find some holiday themed ones, because we all know that holidays tend to be full of drama and interesting situations. So that'd be fun to do on our next reading. In the meantime, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know down below, 1, if you guys have a special birthday treat you like to have on your birthdays. 2, your thoughts on any of the stories in this. Would greatly appreciate hearing all of them. I like seeing people's comments or thoughts on any of these stories, because these are definitely interesting scenarios that I hope none of us find ourselves in, but there you have it. Anyways, I will see about doing one more video before Christmas. If I'm not able to do that, since single mom during holiday times is a busy season, I will see you all in the new year if I'm not able to see you before Christmas, and I hope everyone has a happy, safe, blessed holiday season. Bye.
Like and subscribe.